The story of the Sultana who fled her old husband for love. Sultana Aisha, daughter of Kosum Sultan, was born into a great royal family inside the Ottoman palace, but her personal life was filled with tragedy. Through a marriage imposed on her, Sultana Aisha became a victim of unjust circumstances. Her husband, Sultan Murad IV, was much older than her and suffered from many illnesses, making this marriage a heavy burden on her heart. An unexpected beginning. Aisha, who was one of the most beautiful princesses in the palace during her youth, was chosen by Sultan Murad IV to be his wife. This marriage was not her choice but a result of palace politics aimed at strengthening ties between ruling factions. Despite her high status, Sultana Aisha was not happy with this marriage. The old husband. Sultan Murad IV was much older than Aisha and suffered from many health problems. He was unable to fulfill her marital rights, both emotionally and physically. He struggled with chronic illnesses due to excessive smoking and drinking, making their relationship devoid of any natural emotional or physical desires. Cruelty in the relationship. Over time, Aisha's marriage to Sultan Murad IV became filled with coldness and indifference. She felt great disappointment. Her husband, who was physically weak due to his age and illnesses, was unable to meet her physical and emotional needs. Her days were filled with emptiness as she sought love and desire, which she could not find in this broken marriage. Dreaming of escape. Aisha began thinking about escaping this life. She dreamed of a life with more freedom, where she could be more than just a passive wife in a dull palace. She hoped to find someone in the future who would value her as a person, not as a mere pawn in the harsh political game. Empty moments. In the many days spent in her royal chamber, Sultana Aisha watched the lives of other women in the palace who were achieving their ambitions despite the circumstances. She imagined a different life, one where she could be more than just a shadow of her sick husband. She wondered if she had any chance of fulfilling her dreams. The lost opportunity. During one of her visits to other parts of the palace, Aisha noticed a handsome young man in the court. Their eyes met on a few occasions, making her heart beat in a way it hadn't in years. But she knew that this kind of dream might be impossible due to the conspiracies surrounding her, as the palace was known for its secrecy and strict surveillance. Conspiracies in secret. Sultana Aisha began secretly meeting with some trusted individuals inside the palace. They had heard about her suffering and encouraged her to escape. She realized that returning to her old life with Sultan Murad IV was impossible, and they offered to help her escape from this harsh marriage. The moment of escape. One dark night, Aisha decided that the time had come to escape. She quietly slipped out of the palace while Sultan Murad IV was deeply asleep due to his illness. Her heart was beating with life and hope, feeling like she was breathing for the first time in years. However, she knew that escaping was not the end of her problems. Life after the escape. After her escape, Sultana Aisha lived a life full of challenges. She was hunted by followers of Sultan Murad IV, who planned to bring her back at any cost. However, she felt that she had finally freed herself from the burden of a marriage filled with suffering. In her new life, she found an opportunity to start a new chapter, away from the emptiness she had lived in the old palace. The ongoing struggle. But even after her escape, the past continued to haunt her. Sultan Murad IV, who considered her his personal property, did not easily give up on losing her. However, she held on to the hope that one day she would find a life where she was valued as a human being, a life where she would no longer be a prisoner in a palace filled with shadows and constraints. Sultana Aisha's story was a blend of suffering and bravery. From a marriage filled with coldness and indifference to Sultan Murad IV, to an escape filled with hope and challenges, Aisha sought to achieve her personal freedom. Although her past haunted her, her new life represented an opportunity to escape the burdens that had confined her for so many years.